Forge FC is ready for their upcoming match.
Simply stunning stuff! And finally, their goal! My word, what a rocket!
Now, let's get you up to date with Anthony Urciuoli and Match Day Preview on the Forge Audio Network.
Hey, Forge fans, it is the Forge Audio Network. I'm Anthony Urciuoli. This is the Match Day Preview. Forge FC taking on Valour FC at Tim Hortons Field in Hamilton. Kickoff scheduled for 4:30. Forge coming off an impressive 5-1 win over Edmonton at Tim Hortons Field midweek. Short week, actually very short week, because they have another midweek match coming up after this one against Valour, against Calvary. So a lot going on in a short period of time. So let's jump in here. I mentioned Forge coming off the win. It's actually been back-to-back wins. If you missed the last match from Forge, you missed a lot. You missed a hat-trick from Woobens Pacius, his first hat-trick and the second ever hat-trick in Forge history. You missed Kyle Becker scoring an Olympico from the corner. You missed Sissoko with his first goal on the season. So a lot happened. And Forge has a lot to be happy about and a lot of momentum to build off of heading into their matchup against Valour, which will be a tough one. Valour will be a very difficult test for Forge FC. Valour is the most in-form club in the Canadian Premier League. They drew their last match, but they have 3 wins before that. So they've been climbing up the table, and they are only 3 points back of Forge FC. Forge sitting in 4th, Valour in 5th. So Valour wants these points. Even if they can come away with a draw, I think they'll feel pretty good about themselves being able to pick up a point at Tim Hortons Field. So for Forge, the challenges are this. Valour is a very good defensive club. Mid-block, low-block. Valour does a very good job of making their opponent work really hard for their scoring opportunities. And on top of that, Valour is great on the counter. Valour is able to score goals. Most of the clubs in this league that play that defensive style that Valour also play aren't scoring as much. Valour can score, and it's because they're opportunistic. They have quality up front. And again, it's easy to get frustrated when you're playing against a club like Valour, and that's what they want to do, and that's especially what they're going to want to do on the road against a tough club in Forge. They're going to play their disciplined system. They're going to play their defensive system. They're not going to give up anything easy, and then they are going to try and frustrate Forge into making mistakes and making bad passes into those blocks, and then countering and making Forge pay. Head coach and technical director of Forge FC, Bobby Smyrniotis, spoke before the match. And, we're heading to the midway point of the season here. So some thoughts from him on Forge's performance up to this point in the season and what kind of challenges are presented to them by Valour FC.
Yeah, make sure we take our opportunities when we finish one of them. That's the most important thing in a game like this. Valour is a team that works very hard. They work very hard off the ball. They're a very tight-knit unit that really focuses on a team game, being physical, and they do good things on both sides of the ball, both in their pressing nature, whether they want to sit back in a block, but also very good in the counter-attack and on the ball. So they're a very well-balanced team, I think, for us. If you look at the difference between last game and what we want tomorrow, is just make sure we take our opportunities. And not thinking that there's always a next one coming. So just a little bit sharper in that final third, because when we do that, things tend to work out very well for us.
We are at about the halfway mark of the season. Your thoughts on the first half and your team's performance?
Yeah, so far it's been pretty good. If we get 3 points tomorrow, I think we'll be in a good spot and where we want to be halfway through the season. I think we've been playing some excellent football. Some of the best quality stuff we've been playing as a club over these past 4 years. A lot of new players integrated into the squad, which obviously takes a little bit of time to get going, but I think we've been good. We've had a few hiccups along the way, but even in a lot of those matches, we played some quality stuff, and we just need to keep on going. This is an important stretch ahead for us and a lot of teams. Probably the next 4 to 5 games in the season, and that kind of starts looking to see where the differences are and if you're a playoff team or if you're not.
And what do you believe? Do you think what kind of improvements do you think need to be made for the second half here?
Yeah, right now it's we've dropped some games maybe uncharacteristically, but if you look at it across statistics, we've scored the most goals, least goals against. So we have to stay on the same path. Keep on doing what we do well, and just focus on each game individually. That's all we can do. And I think it's been good. We've been given different challenges along the way with injuries to a lot of the defenders. Slowly, those guys are coming back. But again, it's been good football all around, and we just need to stay on the right trajectory and keep on playing our style, keep on trying to assert ourselves on the opponents, and do like we do in a lot of the games that go well. Get goals in the first half, and that fundamentally usually changes the whole look of the game and how our opponent plays against us.
Forge, this club looks a little different than it has in years past, with some players leaving in the offseason, but they've been able to add with the likes of Taron Campbell, with Sissoko, with Alessandro Hojabrpour, who is really cementing himself as one of the top holding midfielders in the league, if not the top holding midfielder in the Canadian Premier League after coming over from Pacific in the offseason. And he gave his assessment of his club's performance to this point and some things that he thinks he can improve upon as we go into the second half of this CPL 2022 season.
I think we feel like we're in a good spot, but we also feel that we have like a little bit more that we can bring, and we can bring that also consistently. I think that's our biggest thing, to bring a game in and game out. But yeah, I feel like we're on the right track, and we're just like, we're on the surface, but we're ready to like break through into like that real, team. And we feel that we have the quality and all the pieces to kind of get there sooner rather than later.
Challenges this weekend, I guess, against your opponent, Valour. What do you see as being a challenge for you guys?
Yeah, I think similar to when we played them at home, they're going to defend well. They're going to fight for everything. They're that type of team. And they also have a quality on the ball when they do have it. So we have to be defensively focused. But again, we focus on ourselves. And I think our biggest thing is breaking down a team who sits behind the ball, and getting the first goal would probably be the ideal way to play the game, because then it kind of opens up the game. So that's kind of our goals heading into the game.
So Forge played Tuesday. They play again, of course, on Saturday. That's what we're teeing up here against Valour. And then they play again on Wednesday, the 27th, at Cavalry. And then they play again on the weekend against Atletico. So they've had a 10-day break. They've had an 11-day break. Now they have 3 games here in a little over a week, plus a 4th that following weekend. So things are going to get busy. This is where Forge can be at their best, because they have depth that other squads just don't have. So expect a lot of guys to get a lot of minutes for Forge FC in the next week plus. Now, if you're deciding whether to head on down to Tim Hortons Field to catch Valour and Forge, you should know there's a lot going on. First of all, if you are a season seat member, you get an exclusive offer. Additional tickets for youth, so that's 12 and under, will be just $5 for this match. So $5 tickets for youth if you are a season seat member. Now, once you get down to the match, meet the mascots beforehand, including some special guests. We all know Sparks will be there, the Forge FC mascot. You can also see Iron Man, Spider-Man, and Captain America. So the Marvel Universe will be in attendance on Saturday for Forge and Valour. Inflatables and games in the South Plaza before the match and at halftime, where you can win some great prizes. You can meet Forge players before the match. For the adult, $5 beers until kickoff. That's between 3:30 and 4:30. Match day food special, $3 popsicles to help you beat the heat. Following the final whistle, you can join Forge on the field for Families on the Pitch, presented by Tim Hortons. And if that's not enough, post-match candy giveaway, courtesy of Dare. So we're even giving away candy. A lot going on. You're not going to want to miss that. Also, there is an exclusive pre-match sideline experience for season seat members. You can watch the warm-ups from the sidelines at the match between Forge and Valour. So a lot of reasons to get your tickets for this match. I will be there. I hope to see you there. We'll talk to you soon.
Forge FC is prepared, and now you are informed. This has been Match Day Preview with Anthony Urciuoli on the Forge Audio Network. Subscribe on Spotify or wherever you get your podcasts.